Well, look out, Blade fans. OG Blade Reviews is back with you once again. And thanks for visiting. What's in the box? Kansept today. Once again, I'm going to be getting quite a few in from Kansept. I'm honest about what my feelings are on the knife. I got at least one or two comments recently that must be nice to get all these knives in, and how can there be honest reviews? Look, if they stop sending them in tomorrow, that would be fine with me. But I'm happy to work with manufacturers because I get to see new stuff, okay? And I've been around long enough that honestly, nobody owns me. Politicians don't own me. Knife manufacturers don't own me. That's my rant, okay? How to get it out first thing in the morning here on the East Coast. After the election, oh my God. Okay, well, interesting world we live in. Interesting. Baba Yaga was is a fictional witch that many European families, I believe, used to mention to their children to scare them from staying out at night after dark. Baba Yaga, yeah. So this is named after a witch. And is it a witchy knife? I don't know. And you saw some of the specs there, but let's do a reveal. Here is your usual sliding rigid box from Kansept. Inside is a microfiber cloth and some literature. And you get a plastic bag that the knife comes in. Pretty straightforward and solid. But here is the Baba Yaga. It's designed by Sparrow Knife, and that's Greg Schob. Yep, Greg Schob. There's his name right there. And it is out of a premium steel. There's the name of the knife, by the way. It is out of 20 CV right there, tiny little white letters, and that's kind of nice. We don't get a lot of billboarding other than Kansept's logo and Greg's Sparrow skeleton head there. Kind of a cool design, unmistakable. You know it's his, you know it's Sparrow Knife Company. And I believe he does some nice customs. Don't have a lot of familiarity with him, but I did reviewed knives in the past which he designed. So this variant, and there are many on this Baba Yaga, this variant is in a black washed, they call it, 20 CV, and a black washed titanium with a right side only tip up clip. Not deep carry necessarily, at least a ½ inch sticking out of your pocket. A little bit slick. Here's one complaint I have with a lot of the titanium knives is that sometimes the clips are tight. This isn't too bad. And when they're in your pocket and knife is closed up, obviously, and you go to pull it out, if it's gripping tightly enough, you slip off. And also when you grip it, you're squeezing the clip against your pocket. Here's something interesting I did on a Mikkel Williamson design. Forget the name of this one, but this is my carry today. I actually put some notches in the G10 because this had this longitudinal grooves in the handle. They look nice, but kind of slide right off. It's a deep carry clip on that one. But these grooves that I dremeled in, I can get my finger on there and it's a grip. Keeps my fingers from sliding off. So that's my thought on that. So there's one negative in my book, not just against this particular design, but against many. It is a Framelock. It is not a large knife. It's coming in around 3 inches. And maybe we'll measure it first and then chat a bit in a while. So how long is the Baba Yaga overall? Well, it is 7.5 inches. Exactly. I think the last Kansept I measured up was exactly 7.5 as well, or was that a tenable? Tenable, by the way, is their budget line. So we're talking about like a 3.15 inch blade here. if I measure right to the frame of the knife, and about the same on the cutting edge, equal. Other measurements, we're talking inches, so let's start with the handle. Right in the middle there, at the thickest part, 0.55. Blade stock in inches, 0.15, fairly thick. And in millimeters, that works out to 4 millimeters. I thought it was 4. I was pressing a little bit hard. So thick blade stock, eh? Thick blade stock. How about the weight? All right. We'll check the weight relieving after I'm done with this weight as well. All right. Almost 5 ounces. 4.9 we'll call that. 4.9, just a smidge under 5 ounces. Opens nicely. Thumb stud only. Not exactly drop shut, but I have a feeling it'll break in. Seems a little tight. I haven't touched the pivot at all. On bearings. And one nice thing they did was give you the inlay scale material on both sides. They squeezed a little in here on the upper side of the clip, and full inset on the show side. What they're calling this particular color, or handle material, if you don't want to call it color, is black white nebula carbon fiber inlay. Now, if you look up carbon fiber nebula under fat carbon, it's totally different. It's got some red splotches in there and so forth. So I'm thinking this is something that Kansept is buying from another company. It is carbon fiber. I can't get enough of a sheen on this to really show you, but you know, you get the typical kind of sparkly sort of carbon fiber material here, but it's basically black and white swirl. Not G10. It is carbon fiber. I've checked that out. Yeah. So it's a laminate of the white and the black in the CF, the carbon fiber. Almost a full backspacer here. I'd call it a full backspacer. A little bit of room there for debris to fall out. And it is titanium. I checked it out. So all throughout here, we've got titanium, and we've got titanium hardware. The only draw I'm getting from that screw is probably the barrel, the tube that rides inside there, I am thinking. Okay? Because the backspacer, titanium for the scales, really the frame. So without taking those screws out, which I haven't done yet, haven't disassembled it, I'm saying those screws are titanium. If you get one, you disassemble it, and you find I'm wrong, let me know. So Baba Yaga, and how does it hold? Got a nice swale there. It's an interesting blade shape because we've got that change of direction there. By the way, it is a hollow grind. So it's a very fine edge. I'm going to check that edge out in a moment. Very slicey. But once again, we've got that little differential there. I can't even call it a tanto, really. I would not call this a tanto. But it is, we've got two planes, or two angles, I should say, on that cutting edge. So there's a secondary point there like you would have on a tanto. Again, it's really not enough to call that a tanto, folks. It's just not in my book anyway. You can call it a tanto if you want. Call it a reverse tanto. Tapers out to a pretty fine point. Let's check that sharpness. I got some scrap paper here I unwittingly created on my printer the other day. Forget what it is. I don't want to give you any confidential material here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So let's see what we got. It felt pretty slicey. Oh yeah, man. Kansept's doing a great job on their edges, and the hollow The hollow definitely helps on this knife. Yeah, sharp enough. Sharp enough. So the hollow helps, I feel. The high grind relative to the width of the height of the blade, it certainly helps. And when I saw the blade, I was trying to think of, I mean, it's almost like a harpoon in here. It's got the belly, got the clip point. It reminded me, the closest thing I could find was the Accelerator by Artisan. And that's a design by, I'm going to have to get the box to tell you. Hang on. Well, it is a Mike Snoddy design, of course. You were shouting that out to me. One of my favorite designers and knife makers, Mike Snoddy, the Accelerator. But can we see any similarities here? I think so. I'm thinking so, okay? This is more of a harpoon. This could be considered a harpoon because that point rises up a little. Yeah, so maybe you see my what I'm seeing there in that similarity between the Baba Yaga and the Accelerator by Artisan. And here was another one that sort of had features like that. This is the, what the heck is this one? Will it tell me? This is, yeah. It's a CMB design. The Devourer. I knew it was an odd name. Sebastian Irwan design, CMB knives. And isn't this crazy? Look what you got going on there. But again, I see some similar design notes, okay? Longer blade, all sorts of milled out holes in this thing. It's just, it's either a design nightmare because it's way too out there for you, or it's your cup of tea. It's a button lock, by the way, in M390. But if you haven't had a chance to handle one of these or see them, it is an interesting, big knife. Lots of crazy detail everywhere. The Devourer, CMB knives, Sebastian Irwan. I'm going to put the Accelerator away. Much bigger knife, by the way, and extremely drop shutting. And let's put this up against, where is it? Yeah. Let's put it up against my Rat One Ontario Knife Company. Much bigger, just for size comparison, okay? Won't get too into it, but it's a much bigger knife. I mean, these 3-inch knives, here's another little complaint of mine. Kansept, Tenable to a degree, Civivi to a degree, seem to like the 3 to 3.5 inch range. I like 3.5 to 4 inch range. That's just my preference. I like larger knives. I was recently given an opportunity to review some Vostids that were on the teeny side, 2.5 to 3 inches. And while those are convenient sizes for many of you, I just need to have at least that much in my hand. So this is good in that respect. Got a good finger well there, groove, whatever you want to call it, to stop me from going forward. We've got a kind of a oval pear-shaped area in here that fits into your palm nicely. It will hold extremely well and point down, edge out, everything lining up, and probably will hold up pretty strong. Contact on the Framelock is pretty good. I'm seeing that as about 20%. Could be a little better for some of you. Disengagement is nice. Relief is really nice with the chamfer. And again, a nice quick flick, and it closes. So, and I have no doubts it'll break in over time. Well, I think that is mostly it for the Baba Yaga. It does come in probably 5 or 6 other flavors. So I'll give you the link to Kansept, as well as if I find it on White Mountain, I'll give you the link to that as well. Where on White Mountain, not Might Mountain, White Mountain, you can get 10% off if you use my discount code OG-Blade or my old one, Old Sword. 10% off everything you buy at White Mountain. Kansept, Baba Yaga, designed by Sparrow Knives, Greg Schob. Great job, Greg. And I do like this knife. I think this could be a nice EDC / tactical knife if you choose it. And we're talking here a couple hundred list price, but again, these are discounted when they get to your favorite knife store, whether it's Knife Center or White Mountain or Blade HQ or what have you. Hang in there. Take care and be well. Don't forget to subscribe. That's my logo right there. Click that logo to subscribe to my channel. Be back soon.